The New York Jets appear to have mutual interest with a veteran quarterback ahead of free agency. Plus, insiders believe the Jets are one of the most attractive destinations for a veteran quarterback this offseason. We talk about it next. Boy Green Daily starts now.
I'm going to lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
I made it clear that my intention was to play, and my intention was to play for the New York Jets.
What's going on, everybody? I'm Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show. That's live every single day at 7:30 in the morning. Also available wherever you get your podcast, or if you listen to the show after the fact. I want to let it be known right off the top that we're getting closer and closer to 7,500 subscribers on YouTube. We're doing 2 giveaways here on the show. One of them is for free. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, and you are eligible for a giveaway. We're giving away a free piece of autographed New York Jets memorabilia. All you have to do to be eligible is subscribe to the channel, baby. So I highly recommend that for everyone watching live or people that are watching after the fact. Enjoy the show. Make sure you guys do so. And also, you can purchase raffle tickets for our bigger giveaway, which is $2.99 per raffle ticket. There's no limit. We're giving away a signature New York Jets football, baby. I'll throw it up here on the screen real quick. And a Nike Salute to Service long sleeve, plus a laser engraving package as license plates, commemorative coins, pens, so much more. It's got Jets logos and Boy Green logos all merged together. This raffle is good for the rest of the month, which, by the way, is only another 8 days here. And then we're going to be announcing that winner on March 1st. So keep it rolling, baby. You can join this with super chats, gifted memberships, or super stickers. All of that is eligible to be involved in that process. And I'll give you the top of the leaderboard real quick here before we get into all of our business. That scrolling ticker has our top 5 biggest gifters so far this month. Well, folks, it looks like the Jets have mutual interest with a veteran quarterback. ESPN NFL insider Jeremy Fowler shared more on SportsCenter this week. Hit the clip.
Quarterback Justin Fields will be fielding calls as a free agent. And look at that, senior NFL reporter Jeremy Fowler is now joining us to talk a little bit about this. So, Jeremy, last year, Justin Fields started 6 games for the Steelers. Russell Wilson started the other 11. What is the latest with Justin Fields?
Yeah, well, Justin Fields, Christine, is going to be a pretty hot name. Outside of Sam Darnold as the top free agent quarterback, Fields can make a strong argument for number 2. I'm told Fields is open to a return to the Pittsburgh Steelers. He had a good experience there. The belief is that Pittsburgh is also open to that too, but he wants a clean runway to start a full season. He didn't get that last year. He would like to be the guy wherever he goes. New York Jets are a sleeper option here. They could have some interest. They like the idea of a dual threat quarterback. He's younger. I'm told Fields has looked at that roster, sees some intrigue there too. They have some good young pieces like Garrett Wilson and a good defense. So we'll see what.
Wow, so Justin Fields already looking at the Jets roster. His old buddy Garrett Wilson, former college teammate. They were together for 2 seasons at the Ohio State. And by the way, I've got those numbers from what they were able to do together in college, and that would be a good perk to Justin Fields to the Jets. I know we talked a lot about Justin Fields yesterday, but we didn't have the video. I like having the video. I like hearing it from the horse's mouth on the potential mutual interest here between these two sides. But they were together in college for 2 seasons. Garrett Wilson arrived as a freshman in 2019 at Ohio State, and Justin Fields joined him that same year, but as a transfer from Georgia. Here are their 2 seasons together. They put up monster numbers. Garrett Wilson had 73 catches, 1,100 yards, and 11 touchdowns in 22 games with Fields. And over those same 22 games, Justin Fields had 63 passing touchdowns, 5,300 passing yards, and a 68.7% completion percentage. So you would know that if Fields came here, he would automatically have that chemistry with Garrett Wilson, which would be más importante, considering all the issues that happened there with Aaron Rodgers last year, and apparent non-chemistry with Garrett Wilson, baby. So that would be nice. Also, salute to the Boy Green Coffee Club in the house, baby, our YouTube membership group. We appreciate you, and I see you guys there in the chat. I will also say this. the Jets are getting a lot of love as one of the most attractive destinations for a veteran quarterback this offseason. Here's another clip. This is from NFL insider James Palmer of Underdog Fantasy, who does work with Bleacher Report, and he called the Jets that very thing, one of the most appealing destinations for a veteran quarterback this offseason. Hit it, James.
Jets are a very appealing team at 7 for a veteran quarterback to come in. That seems more realistic that a veteran quarterback comes in and bridges it. Was it Justin Fields? Who knows? But this is kind of an appealing core with a new energetic coaching staff run by Aaron Glenn. That is this kind of a spot that you can bridge and actually change that culture with that bridge quarterback and put things in the right direction that you'd like. That seems like the most likely outcome right now for them.
Brad Gagnon of Bleacher Report ranked the Jets as the number 1 team this offseason to help a quarterback, quote unquote, looking to revive their NFL career. He put them number 1 on the list because, as we've talked about for some time, the options out there at the quarterback position are less than ideal. It's not like there's all these. There's that one offseason that had like Tom Brady, this guy. There's not all those sexy options out there. So instead, really what this offseason is we're all going to the dog pound and we're looking to adopt a puppy. And all these puppies have issues and some reason why they were abandoned. But now we're trying to pick the right puppy to adopt, the right fit with the family. Again, we talked about yesterday with warts, but let's switch it for today. Today's analogy on the show, and say some of these puppies have different issues, but in the right home, right? We talk about that. It's your environment produces the person, right? So if you have a good environment, there's a better chance that person's going to be good. So it seems like the Jets' environment. Well, anywho, I'm butchering the word, but you get what I mean. That they have a good, stable setup here. With Garrett Wilson, this offensive line is 4 of its 5 starters under contract. It sounds like they will be looking for that 5th, a different right tackle coming in. But you look at the setup here, Breece Hall, Garrett Wilson. Now, they're going to need some help. There's other wide receivers they're going to have to explore. Tight end is sort of a mess. You got a lot of young, interesting running backs. Isaiah Davis, Breece Hall, Braylon Allen. That's all intriguing. But, hey, man. It seems like the Jets are getting a lot of love, again, as this quarterback revival place, this quarterback revival locale potentially coming in here. That, to me, is exciting. Pretty gosh darn good there, baby. Pretty gosh darn good. I like it. And here's more on Justin Fields. So I look up, one of the things I love doing when the Jets are connected to free agents, I like to say, so what is Pro Football Focus saying? So they have an entire department at Pro Football Focus that projects contract, what basically players are worth on the open market. And for Justin Fields, they expect him to land a 1-year deal for $11 million with all of it coming guaranteed. And that's sort of what I've been kind of swimming around anyway. I kept looking at the Sam Darnold deal from last year with the Vikings. 1-year deal, $10 million. That, to me, all sort of felt like the right, proper value. A guy's going to get a 1-year. Again, it works for both sides here, right? The Jets need an answer at minimum for 2025, but ideally longer than that, obviously. So they need a guy for right now. And let's use Justin Fields as the example. He needs a place to showcase his talents. Why not the Jets? They can help each other. And if Justin Fields dominates the way a lot of people think he can with the Jets, I won't say a lot of people. Some people have concerns whether or not he can. But if Justin Fields can rock out with the Jets, then either the Jets are going to give him a bag or someone else will give him the bag because he's still incredibly young. Let's pull it up here for Justin Fields' age, right? Justin Fields is 25 years of age. He'll turn 26 in a couple weeks. And then he would be hitting free agency at 27 or re-signing with the Jets. I don't know, man. There's something pretty gosh darn compelling about that. Hey, FL Phil 98 Philium gifting a Boy Green Coffee Club membership, baby. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, baby. You love to see it. That is a raffle ticket to our contest, baby, which is always a good time. Rick was just gifted that membership from Philium. Rick was just gifted that membership, baby. So another raffle ticket for our contest coming up here at the end of the month. Shout out to Philium. Pour one out. You guys could get your raffle tickets in as well. I highly recommend you doing so to win, to get a chance to win, rather, all of our amazing prizes coming up here. which is always a real good time. So FL Phil 98, that is now 6 raffle tickets for you, my friend, for our contest. God bless and thank you, Phil. Love it. So, yeah, to me, I will just say again that for the people that are not in on Fields, and there's a lot of them that aren't. Nick Ferry obviously was not in on Justin Fields yesterday, and there's others that wouldn't be as well. The options are not ideal. We just sort of have to embrace that at the beginning. Before we go into the store, we just got to breathe and go, well, this isn't going to be great, but, well, let's try to make the best of it. And then you head into the store. And the store's options are limited. So I'm not going to be able to give you an answer that everyone is happy with. That's not going to happen. But we got to pick somebody to be the guy. And Justin Fields has been heavily talked about for that as well. Jets Afterburners podcast says, would Fields be the starter or battle with Taylor and Camp? I think he's totally battling with Taylor and Camp. I don't think it's this Aaron Glenn era. I don't think anything is just given. I think everything's earned. Now, my money would probably be on Justin Fields to beat out Tyrod Taylor. And if he doesn't, well, I guess that's a different conversation about Justin Fields if he can't beat out Tyrod Taylor. So, no, I think it would be a competition, but I think a very quick competition because Justin Fields is younger. He's been playing a lot. Tyrod less so over the last couple of years. But we would see. I don't know. Let him battle it out and see. Maybe Tyrod, seizes the day or something. I don't know. I'm good for the competition. Whoever wins, put him into an octagon with a lead pipe. 2 guys walk in, 1 guy walks out. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I think it'd totally be a competition. And there should be competition for Tyrod Taylor. If Tyrod Taylor is the crown starter for the Jets without much competition, I'm going to be like, what are we doing here? So there should be some level of competition. We'll figure out what it is. I disagree with our boy Nick Ferrier here, who said that he doesn't, if the Jets are going to draft a quarterback relatively high, he doesn't think that, thus, if they don't take a veteran quarterback somewhere here in free agency, that means they're going to be super aggressive in the draft. I think you could do both. I like, having multiple options. Multiple choice is great on a test, right? Gives you multiple choices. Okay, gives you multiple options. I think the Jets should totally sign a veteran to compete with Tyrod and draft a rookie. Now, if it so happens you trade up and do something crazy, okay. If you just fall at 7, stay at 7, someone falls to you, okay. If you take someone at 42 in the second round, okay. You take someone at 92, okay. I'm not going to say right now on February 20th, obviously they're doing this or obviously they're doing that. I don't know. But they should try multiple things that increases your chances of hitting. If you sign a veteran quarterback, okay, great. Pick the best veteran quarterback you, the Jets, believe is good for your scheme and system and everything else, and let them compete with Tyrod. And then you're in the draft, and you're like, hey, does anyone tickle our fancy? If no one does, don't force it for no reason. But if someone does, boom, add him to the room. Great. Let's put as many of the guys that we like all in the room, and hopefully someone comes out of it sort of interesting. Hey, I bring up this example every once in a while. The Seattle Seahawks signed Matt Flynn to this 3-year deal for $22.5 million. He had this crazy final game for the Packers against the Lions where he threw like 5 or 6 touchdown passes, and everyone goes, ooh, Matt Flynn. And he goes into free agency. Seahawks go, oh, yeah, this is our guy. This is our franchise quarterback. They sign him, and then they draft some guy named Russell Wilson in the 3rd round. And by all accounts, Matt Flynn was supposed to be the guy. And then Russell Wilson surprisingly beats him in camp. Matt Flynn never gets his op. He gets a lot of money, but he never gets his op, and booyah, Russell Wilson's a guy, and we all know what happened to Russell Wilson. Less so what happened to Matt Flynn. So you never know. You never know. That's why I say just bring everybody into the room and see what happens. Hep says, whoever the starter is, they should have packages for the other quarterback to run. I'm not sure if I'd throw Tyrod Taylor's 36-year-old ass, which I believe is what he will be in August. I'm not sure if I'm doing that. But if it's the other way, if Tyrod somehow wins the competition, and then Justin Fields is the guy hanging in the balance, I would incorporate Fields into crazy wildcat packages or whatever that looks like, read op, some goal line action, tush push, whatever the hell you want to do. I don't know if I do it the other way. If Justin Fields win, I'm not sure if I incorporate Tyrod Taylor's elder ass into the mix. But I'm totally for it on the other side. You're not maximizing your talents if you don't. He's your modern day Cordell Stewart. He's your modern day Slash, man. Yeah. So I would totally use it that way, Hep, but that's a good point. Let's go to Terrence Hill here. Jets pick a tight end. There we have 3 catches in all 3 positions, wide receiver, tight end, running back. The Jets draft the defensive tackle to help in the trenches. Both okay for me. Yeah, there's not a lot of directions the Jets could go at 7 where I'm like, geez, what were they thinking? Like if they go Mason Graham, okay, that totally makes sense. They go Will Johnson at corner, okay, that's a fun option in the secondary. We need help in the secondary. I'm trying to think of what they could do. Like Ashton Genty, even, I'd be like, oh, exciting home run hit. Oh, Tyler Warren. Okay, great. We got a tight end. Tet McMillan, Tater Tot McMuffin. Okay, great. Plug and play him. Offensive tackle. Like, all right, you want to finish off the 5? Terrific. You want a quarterback? Well, if someone fell into your lap, great. We need a franchise quarterback too. So, again, it would be very difficult for me to envision the Jets doing something that I'm just livid over. But, hey, things happen every year. No, I did not see the PFF mock draft yesterday. I'm not sure. Philly Noodles says, this is the option everyone keeps predicting for us. It is, yeah. Which maybe everyone's wrong. Everyone's just jumping on the bandwagon, or it could just be the obvious thing is there. For sure. Morning to the chat and to Boy Green Coffee Club. Mitch Staff here. Do any of you really think the Jets have any chance next year at all? In my opinion, tank and dump salary for 2026. I don't think Aaron Glenn can just roll over and die in his first year. Because, when Robert Saleh took over for Adam Gase, there was a honeymoon because Adam Gase was so bad that really whatever Saleh did was going to be an upgrade. Now, because of our mini Super Bowl expectation window that crashed and we didn't even have a winning season, I think people are less honeymoon. Oh, let's give them a couple years to figure it out. I think people want more immediate results. So the question by Mitch is, do any of you really think the Jets have any chance next year? And by chance, I would then do a follow-up. What do you mean chance? Win the Super Bowl? Go to the AFC Championship game? Make the playoffs? Win the division? I don't know. I don't know who my quarterback is, so I can't really comment on that. But in terms of chance of making the playoffs, there are 32 teams in the NFL. They're split 16 on one conference, 16 in another. 7 of the 16 in each conference make the playoffs. Nearly half of the league, of the conference rather, makes the playoffs. So you have a chance. It doesn't take these multi-year, 5-year rebuilds to get back in the playoffs. The Broncos were able to flip their playoff drought, which they had the longest playoff drought not named the Jets before they just did it. They had not been to the playoffs since their Super Bowl year in 2015 before making the playoffs this past season. So you can make the playoffs. And if I'm AG, sort of like, I hate to use a Buffalo Bills model, but I think someone mentioned this yesterday too. They had Tyrod Taylor, ironically enough, and they made that playoffs that first year. They lose to Jacksonville in some nothing game, like 9-6. I don't even remember what the final score was. And then the next year, Josh Allen takes over and everything goes crazy. If the Jets have a chance to make the playoffs, I don't give a shit who the quarterback is or anything. Great. Let's make the playoffs and let's get that monkey off our back. Do they have a chance for the playoffs? Of course they do. It's, again, 7 of the 16 teams make it. Now, AFC's tough. There's all kinds of crazy quarterbacks. Let's see who the quarterback is. But I don't think Aaron Glenn's just going to roll over and die. Even if Tyrod ends up being his guy, I think they're going to obviously try to win as many games as they can, and we'll see what happens. But, yeah, I'm just not for the tank and dump salary for 2026 and just, do the quarterbacks look intriguing in 2026? Of course they do. But it's the same thing. People look intriguing and then suck. Quarterbacks are not a guarantee. So just cashing in the hope for next year. Like, I'm not all for going into a season and saying, we better just tank from the get-go. Like, that's not my MO. So, yes, do I think they have a chance? Of course they do. But how big of a chance and a chance to do what? I don't know. Let's see. Let's keep going here. Let's keep going on your questions and comments. Ryan King on Facebook says, what about Winston? Makes a lot of sense. There was crossover with Aaron Glenn in New Orleans. He's a veteran quarterback, of course. He signed a 1-year, $4 million deal last offseason, so he'd be incredibly cheap. There's a connection to Aaron Glenn. He has that vertical passing element, which I think this Jets offense has been lacking for years. I'd love to see him take shots to Garrett Wilson. Now, he is the definition of a roller coaster. I think there's going to be a lot of touchdown passes. You're like, woo, but there's going to be a lot of, oh my God, where it throws a horrific turnover. But I think it would be a fun ride. I think there'd be good moments and bad moments. And then in this season of so much unknown, we don't know who the quarterback is. You could do a lot worse than Jameis Winston. So he's totally in the conversation, 100%. He's one of the more attractive options, which speaks a little bit to the quarterback options that are available. But, yeah, he'd be sort of fun. Shout out to USA Hockey. Yeah, my intern at the radio station's a big hockey guy. Gave me my homework to watch hockey. I'm not really a big hockey guy, but I will try to watch some of that tonight. Sluggo. I like low expectations going into a season. The letdown's easier. Yeah, what's that? Vince Vaughn in Dodgeball, the American Underdog story. I try to keep my expectations low, so yeah, I'm butchering the line, but something about expectations being low and not crossing the bar. It's a better pill to swallow. So it's good. Brandon A said Jets would have to overpay for Fields. I don't know if that's true, especially if Justin Fields is intrigued by the team. It's not like the Jets have to pay some tax. A lot of insiders have called the Jets an incredibly attractive destination for veteran quarterbacks. So we'll see. I don't think they're going to have to overpay. I don't think Justin Fields is going to get crazy money, but you never know, I guess. Mano says only $11 million. That's not high. I have it here in my notes. 1 second. Excuse me. That $11 million annual salary would place Justin Fields number 17th among the highest paid quarterbacks in football. So below average. There's 32 teams in the league. That'd put him, well, right around average, I guess, but just a hair below it with 17th ranking. Yeah, not bad at all. I wouldn't mind if the Jets trade up to number 1. Hey, that would be interesting if they do. We'll see. That'd be good for the show. That'd be good for content, that's for sure. Phil, nice hat, Paul. Thank you. Yeah, I'm a big hat guy. Got a lot of Jet hats in the collection, so I appreciate it. By the way, we got 500 people watching live right now. Like the video, hit subscribe. Thank you very much. Good morning, Take Flight Eric, as well. Welcome to the show. Damn straight, Ricky. Tater Tot McMuffin. I will remember that name now forever throughout the entire draft cycle for Tet McMillan. Damn straight, Ricky. Salute to you, sir. Here we go. Ryan King here on YouTube with a YouTube super chat. We always appreciate YouTube super chats. Baby. Let's hear from my daughter, Zariah Luna.
Wow.
Ryan King, you got yourself a raffle ticket and some change. I appreciate that, good sir. Thank you very much. I believe that's your first raffle ticket of the month. Very nice here. I will double check that later just in case I'm wrong, but that looks like your first one of the cycle, which we appreciate, with some leftover change. What about Watson? I assume you're talking about Deshaun Watson. So a couple of years ago when Deshaun was coming from Houston, I'll be honest, I was intrigued. Who wasn't, as far as I'm concerned? My father apparently wasn't. He thought Deshaun Watson was going to be terrible, so he's the all-seer. But Deshaun Watson in Houston looked like one of the best young quarterbacks in football. When he was available, I was all over that. I'm like, yeah, Jets, let's get in on that. Deshaun friggin' Watson, baby. I remember Dabo Swinney saying in that draft, if you pass on Deshaun Watson, it's like passing on Michael Jordan. I went, oh, that's cute. And we're an ACC country, so we saw Deshaun Watson a lot here in Syracuse. And he was a talented quarterback, and I don't know what happened, Ryan. I don't know what happened. I don't know how he fell off a cliff. And then obviously there's all the personal strife of all the issues with a massage therapist and everything he's been accused of and all that stuff. So, maybe that's what affected him. I have no idea. But a lot of people are not rooting for Deshaun Watson with these accusations and allegations and suspensions and everything that he's been through. And now we're seeing it with Justin Tucker getting accused of a lot of stuff. To me, I don't think I'd be for Deshaun Watson. I'd be willing to explore other waters. I'd allow another team if they're going to dig in on that, if the Browns choose to move on. And plus, he re-injured his Achilles. He might be out for the entire 2025 season. So, I'm going to punt on Watson. I'm going to punt on Watson in general, and I'm going to punt on him specifically with the Achilles injury too. So the Achilles, he's looked like trash for a while. Just no thank you on Watson. I'd prefer to go through a different door. But I appreciate the super chat, Ryan. He's a name that hasn't been brought up a lot. Another super chat from Ryan King, baby. Hey now. I love all these coming in. Very nice. More raffle tickets, baby.
Wow.
Jameis Winston. Oh, well, again, we talked about him a little bit earlier. I mean, Jameis Winston would be a lot of fun. I'd be totally intrigued by the Jameis Winston experience. There's no doubt about it. And by the way, you now have 5 raffle tickets here, Ryan King, so we appreciate that. Very nice. Yes, 5 raffle tickets total with all your super chats coming in. 5 raffle tickets for our contest coming up at the end of the month with the autographed signature New York Jets football, the Nike Salute to Service long sleeve, and more. So, Ryan, salute to you, sir. That's 5 raffle tickets. Yeah, Jameis Winston, famous Jameis, crab legs, former number 1 overall pick, eat the W, again, which was still a disturbing image I haven't gotten out of my head. Yeah, Jameis Winston would be fun. He's got a rocket arm. He's got a great personality. I'm curious how that would rest in New York. It seems like his teammates adore him. He's this kind of goofy personality with his unique leadership skills. And the Jets need a quarterback for 2025. Jameis Winston's going to be available. And hey, Jake Asman on the Jake Asman Show from Radio Row in New Orleans, he yelled out that he was doing a show live, so people were walking by, and he noticed Jameis Winston was walking by, and he got off mic and went like, "Hey, Jameis, come to the Jets or something, or JTS." And Jameis said something like, "Yeah, awesome." So I don't know if he was legitimate, but hey, Jameis Winston, man, would be a lot of fun. So I'd be for that train. Sure. Yeah, why not? He'd be a fun player. Sean Watson? No. Jameis Winston? Yes. Yeah. I'd be for that. Cost, value, everything like that would be great. Jets Afterburners Pod said Jameis would break our single-season touchdown and interception records. Very possible. Very possible. I could totally see that. He just brings that sort of chutzpah to the table, which is cool. Another thing on another super chat. Ryan King is lighting it up, baby. We love it. Amen.
Wow.
Okay, booyah. You are now at 6 raffle tickets, my good sir, with a little bit of change left over. Very nice. Thank you, Ryan King, for all your contributions to the show this morning, baby. Okay. What do you think about the Jets getting Neighbors? What do you think about the Jets getting Neighbors? Are you talking about like Malik Neighbors, Ryan King? That's the only one I'm sort of confused by here. Neighbors? Or is there another Neighbors I'm not thinking of? Like Malik Neighbors? Make sure you comment. I want to make sure I answer your super chat here, Ryan. But Neighbors. If Malik Neighbors is available, I would imagine not with the New York Giants. Oh, yeah, you're saying yes, Malik Neighbors. I mean, yeah, sure, yeah. Now, Malik Neighbors, here's the only thing with Malik Neighbors. He's obviously wildly talented, and he's a crosstown rival, so that's always good, too. But there is, and this can be healthy in the right situation. He likes having the ball in his hands. Like, I'm a big fan of T.O. I know a lot of people aren't, but T.O. always wanted the ball because he thought that the ball in his hands meant that the team was in a better position to win. And you want to know something? He was sort of right. When he was getting the ball, they were winning. When he wasn't, they were losing. So I think T.O. had something to say about that. But Malik Neighbors is that type. Like, he wants the ball because getting the ball puts them in a better position to win and all those sorts of things. So yeah, Malik Neighbors has a little bit of that to him, and that can be healthy. But if you got a shitty quarterback situation, that puts you in a lot of issues, Ryan. It puts you in a lot of issues in a compromising situation because, like, Malik Neighbors wants the rock, and then if the shitty quarterback isn't getting him, it could kind of be a contentious situation, right? Like Caden's calling him a diva. I think he's incredibly talented, and he's a freak. And he's got a lot of skills. Like, I loved it. I forgot to tweet this, but during the NFL award show, they do all these jokes and bits with everybody, and they came back from a break, and Snoop Dogg was reading the Inner Excellence A.J. Brown book, and then he went to the audience of other people reading books like Josh Allen and stuff, and Malik Neighbors was reading Keyshawn's book, Get Me the Damn Ball, which was funny. So, again, you have to have the right situation to support Malik Neighbors to get the most out of him. But if he was available, I love him. I don't believe he will be available. But I like the question, Ryan King, and thanks for all the super chats coming in here as well. Get me the effing ball, Caden says. Yes, get me the effing ball. Damn straight. Dade says, we already have a Neighbors over here. We don't need another one. I don't know if I put Garrett Wilson in that. To me, Garrett Wilson's been very adamant. He wants to win games. And when, again, same, I guess there's the same sort of breath about it. Like, if he's not getting the rock and they're not winning games, and like, hey, that's a frustrating situation. So we'll keep an eye on that. But I love it. I love all the passion that we're seeing in the comment section right now. Well, why don't we do this? We got 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. We're going to open up the phone lines here on the show, and I think I'm going to be able to get to the radio station physically today for the first time this week after all the snowing. The snowing has stopped, but now there's just a lot of snow to sort through. So hopefully we can get to the radio station live today. That would be terrific. All right, let's do this. We'll play a quick Hep song, and the phone lines are open next. If you'd like to call into the show and you're watching on Twitter or Facebook, it's youtube.com/boygreen25. It'll be the pinned comment here in just a moment. I'm about to put it up, and you can call into the show and share your thoughts on a variety of topics. Hep song now. Boy Green Daily continues next.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. J-E-T-S. Jets.
There we go, Hep. Yes, Jets, Jets, baby. We got 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby. And also, if you're watching after the fact, you can still do all of those wonderful things here on the program. So feel free, baby. Things are popping, locking, and dropping here on the program. Also, keep the comment section lively. We'll continue to get some of those comments here on the program as well. Let's go to the phone lines. We got a lot of people waiting. Hey, look at this. The legend himself, Gator McCluskey, here on the program. What's up, Gator? Good morning, pal.
What do you say, Paul? How are you, man?
Hey, it's good to see you. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a while. Been listening. And, I wanted to chime in about, this quarterback field obviously is not good.
Yeah.
We got some money on the books we got to get off. Obviously, they just freed some up or got some relief with this cap increase.
Yes, very nice.
I wanted to ask you about Kirk Cousins.
All right.
I was not on his train at all, but the more I think about it, he definitely has a lot of parallels to Aaron Rodgers, who I honestly was a fan of, and sorry to see leave. But the parallels between the two of them are very close, and I think there's two things about them that separate the Jets a little bit. One is the baggage that Rodgers obviously brought along that a lot of people are down on. Kirk Cousins is not going to come in here and be a rock star like Aaron was.
Correct.
And the other thing is the age. He's a good 4 or 5 years younger. I think he's 36.
Yeah.
So those two things sort of eliminate two of the big worries I think a lot of people had with Rodgers. The other thing is, and then the obviously comparison is him coming off of the same, Achilles injury. But I think that we're going to come to realize, especially if Rodgers ends up in a place like LA, that year 3 is going to be the year after an injury like that, regardless of your age, I think, where you start to either realize that you definitely can't play anymore, or that there's some potential to bring back the old. And, we can't forget that Kirk Cousins had those years in Minnesota where didn't get those numbers, without a great quarterback, right? So there must have been something there, and I'm sure Aaron Glenn has a lot of familiarity with him. So without looking at the chat, I'm sure a lot of people are saying no on Kirk Cousins, but I'm curious what your thoughts are in terms of like him being an option. Obviously, the money is going to be really good for him.
Yeah.
And if we have to get rid of this $49 million of Rodgers and we're looking for a bridge quarterback, to plug in a Cousins for a 1 or 2 year deal, and take a flyer on him. I do like Justin Fields a lot, but I kind of feel like if we can't get Fields and take a chance on him, and I think a Fields could be a 1-year deal where like, oh, let's see if he has something. And then if he doesn't, just, go into next year's draft looking at getting one of these hopefully better quarterbacks that may come out. But Cousins to me kind of should away thought. I feel like there might be some potential there. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, first off, let's talk money. It's going to be the veteran minimum. It's going to be $1.2 million to get him on the books. It's basically the exact same situation as Russell Wilson was last year. So just from a money perspective, how is that not incredibly intriguing, especially considering all the dead cap that you just mentioned? So from that perspective alone, and you're right. Now, Kirk Cousins isn't Aaron Rodgers from all the Super Bowl and MVP and considered one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. He doesn't have all that with him, but he doesn't have all that extracurricular activity you say. He's going to be dad guy in a flannel at the freaking press conference. He's not going to be all dappered up. He's just a guy. He's just a I'm trying not to insult the man. He's just I don't know. There's not a lot of extra to him. He's just a quarterback and a family man and all that jazz. And I didn't mind all the extra stuff with Aaron because if he was throwing touchdown passes, I didn't care. But you were right that other people seem to care about all that extra crap he does. Like Kirk Cousins is not going to be doing these polarizing Pat McAfee interviews. He doesn't say any of that kind of stuff. He just kind of keeps it in-house. So all of that to me would be intriguing. He comes dirt cheap. When he had that 8 or 9 year run where it was tail end of Washington and Minnesota, he averaged somewhere in the ballpark. I did the math on it. It was like 4,200 yards every season and 29 touchdown passes. Both of those would reset Jets record book. So like 100%, we should be more intrigued. You're right. The chat is like, Kirk Cousins. Geez, Kirk Cousins. Cole's Cousins. I get from Jets Afterburners podcast. Again, the Cole's Cousins here. Okay, get it. But we have to address what you said at the beginning. The quarterback options aren't great from the beginning anyway, and it is what it is. We have to pick someone at least for 2025. So, yeah, I think he gives us much better passing than some of the he said Kirk Cousins is a better passer than Justin Fields. Kirk Cousins is a better passer than almost all of these other guys. I would say probably all of them. I'm trying to think of a name I'm not thinking of that's available in the market. He's going to give these Jets pieces on offense their best chance to succeed. And I think the other thing we didn't talk about is obviously he dicked around the Jets a couple of years ago and put it on a documentary of like, yeah. What's the Jets offer? Oh, yeah, 3 years, $90 million fully guaranteed. Fuck yeah. All right, reach back out of Minnesota. Like some Jet fans will be forever burned by that, never get past it. But if that stuff is, I know that one is hard to forget. But you put that stuff aside, then sure, he makes a lot of sense for the Jets in 2025.
Yeah, slim pickings. I think we're looking at a bridge. I honestly don't see us getting a quarterback in round one. I'd hate to climb up any further to try to get one of these guys that really, obviously Cam Ward, but I'm hearing about the Cam Ward numbers that we'd have to give up for him, and I'm like, no, that's crazy.
That seems rich. Yeah,
he's not good.
Mm-hmm.
If he was, maybe if he was the Manning kid or something, you do that, but it's just too much of a gamble for me. But
100%.
I thank you, Paul. Good seeing you.
Appreciate it, Gator. Yeah, good seeing you too. Make sure you get a good, healthy walk for that beautiful dog of yours. Wonderful. I love it. Yeah, let's get back on screen real quick. Yeah, let's get a shot. Hey, yeah, there we go, baby.
Hey, buddy,
nice.
Say hello. Say hello. Say hi.
Hey, now.
That's Goose.
All right. Goose, how old is Goose?
He just turned 4.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. Yep. Look at Goose.
Good-looking pup. Yep.
Yeah, that's a good-looking
Ain't
pup.
Nothing Gator, like a golden.
That's right, Gator. You're doing good. Gator and Goose, a great dynamic duo, the Gator Goose combo. Yeah, I want to order that from my restaurant. Yeah, I want the old Gator Goose. What's the house special? Give me some Gator Goose action. Very nice. All right, again, we got 500 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe. Let's keep going through the phone calls. Great call there from Gator. By the way, I got to reach out to Gator. We're going to get this interrupted, and unfortunately, Aaron Rodgers. Oh boy, I'm going to have to update that with some AG action and more. I'm going to have to get some pieces together. We're going to have to reach out to Gator. He does awesome work on intros, by the way, for anyone that's looking for some intro action for their shows. Gator's your boy, Gator McCluskey. All right, let's go back to the phone lines here. Let's keep things cooking with, Chef Kevin Gilbert here on the show.
Hey, BG, what's up, man? How you doing?
What's going on, Chef?
Not much, man. That Gator Goose, man. That's I've done that, man, for Mardi
Oh, you
Gras,
have?
which
Ooh.
we do next week of the
Okay.
fried alligator.
Oh, wow.
And then, in a lot of fine dining establishments, you'll get the frogwa, which is like, cherry chutney kind of deal.
Oh,
Like
wow.
frogwa, that's the way to go, man. If you,
Okay.
have that fine dining palate,
Sure.
the
Yeah.
Gator Goose combo, man, that's
Yeah.
a
All
funny
right.
one.
Okay. Beautiful. I
Um,
love it. Yeah.
but thank you, man, for your great content, man. Just the most important for me, man, is just the consistency of having these early morning shows, man. Folks like us, man, who I hate sleeping, man. I get up in my household. I'm the last one to go to bed. I'm the first one up. I like coming into work, getting the things done, sitting down, get my admin stuff, listening to you, looking at the chat or whatever, seeing what's going on, man. It's always a pleasure, man.
I appreciate that. Thank
Just
you. Yeah, we got a great
absolutely,
community
man.
here. Yeah.
Yeah. All of us appreciate you, man. You know that. Like we'll have different opinions or whatever. Have some heated whatever conversations, man. But at the end of the day, all Jet fans, man, and you do a great job keeping us together and having a platform for us to be able to talk and share our opinions, man. So it's always appreciated. Just with the quarterback situation, man, I'm pretty
Hmm.
much give me another week, man. Give me another week. I'll move off on Rodgers, man. Still,
Yeah.
you know, just
That's fair.
win wise and what to expect and bridge and options out there and all that kind of stuff, man. It's just pretty, there's not much out there. We can speculate on all kinds of things. It's just like it's a trip, man, knowing about Fields, where I go through peaks and valleys of being a Jet fan where I'm like miserable for most of my life, get a little happy or whatever. I
Yeah.
was happy with the Rodgers stuff, and now I'm back to being miserable, man. And I heard the Jermaine Johnson stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
Just
Wow. Powerful words on
it's
social
yeah,
media.
yeah, yeah. So I man, I'm on the fence with with his comments, to be honest, man. Just because it's like we're Jet, like, yo, we've been dealing with this stuff for so long, man. It's easy for any player to be like, hey, fans, just have patience with us. So that now it's a new regime, man. Like,
Especially for a new guy, too. Jermaine's only been here a couple of years. Jet fans have been around for 20, 30, 40, 50 years. Yeah. Yeah.
so for me, it's like, why don't you talk to your teammates, man? Talk to
Right.
Sherwood. Talk to Sherwood about, yeah, hey, give us some time. Nah, he out of here, man. What are you talking
Mhm.
about?
Yeah.
Talk to Reed, see if he can stay on a little deal or whatever. I mean, he ain't the best cornerback, but it's something like I'm just saying, like, there's talk to the teammates, man. You want to hold people accountable, talk to Clemens.
Mhm.
Call
Oh.
him out or
Oh,
whatever.
boy.
Like for
Yeah.
me, it's just like, I get it, I get what he's saying, but for a new regime to come in right now, like the only way I'm bought in is wins, man. That's what I told my Jets rep the other day when he called me trying to, see if I still want to do this stuff. Like I got to see the wins. Like if you get the wins, then I'm bought back in, man. You can say whatever the hell you want.
Mhm.
It's what's going on the field. You're gonna have double digit sacks, this and that, because he's talking about, hey man, my first sack, I'm gonna be celebrating this and that. How about you celebrate a damn win? F your damn sack, man. How
Yeah.
about celebrate some wins, man? Stop
Mhm.
talking about what you personally are gonna do. Talk about what the team is gonna do. How we're a team and what we're gonna accomplish. Don't talk about your solo accomplishments, man. That's just kind of where I'm at, man. Like I'm fine with talking a big talk and all that. Hey,
Mhm.
listen, I was happy as hell the last 2 years. For what reason, man? What? Because we had Rodgers and all kind of stuff. Now he's gone. It's like, yo, just a waste of money, waste of time, just all this stuff. And now I'm back into being miserable again, and just thinking that before, when I was team tank for Trevor, which is
Yeah.
a stupid way of thinking, but hey, that's what most of us wanted. Most of us wanted to tank
For
for
sure.
Trevor. I During the season that year, the consolation prize for not getting Trevor was going to be Fields. All of a
Mhm.
sudden, Zach Wilson just came out of nowhere, and then it's like, okay, Zach's going to be the guy. In my head, I already had it like, okay, Fields is going to be it. So I was already pissed off about that whole situation, and it was just like, you know what? Let's see, let's give the kid a chance, and then that just became what it was or whatever. So just
Oh, yeah.
a horrific nightmare for all of us to deal with. To now fast track to the potential of actually bringing Fields to us, where it's like,
Right.
all right, we're not going to give up no picks or nothing
Right.
like
No.
that.
No picks. No. Mhm.
So for my thing, I'm only good with getting Fields, knowing like it's a pop, man, maybe a 3 quarterbacks that we could like really choose from in the free agency market,
Mm.
where it's like if we get Fields, to keep Garrett, to sign him for a long-term deal, like I'm cool with that, man.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. Get Fields for a couple years, man. Worst case scenario, he doesn't really pan out to be the starting quarterback. Then he just gets a little backup role or whatever. The thing is, if the mindset is like, all right, we're gonna groom another quarterback through the draft or whatever, and then Fields will be the backup. We got to get him on a deal where it's not too expensive to keep him on the bench, man. That's just the only game plan that the front office really needs to do a good job at doing. Just and then to touch on Gator's point with Cousins, man, I Cousins was another quarterback that I wanted when he was with Washington.
Oh yes,
during that free agency period, like I was like, yo, we're gonna throw him the bag. He's gonna come to us. Nah, man, he went straight to Minnesota and just like, and the injuries and all this kind of stuff. Where it's like, and then he took the team to the playoffs and all kind of stuff, and had that miracle throw to Diggs and everything. Where
oh
it's
my
like,
gosh,
it's like, damn, why couldn't this be with the Jets, man? Like that's
actually that was Case Keenum who had the miracle thing. Kirk must have been hurt, or that was the year right before Kirk. Is Case Keenum made that crazy ass
that's
throw.
right. You're right, man.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, I don't know. Just trying to be positive, man. Just
no, of course.
It's tough. It's tough, man, being a Jet fan and just knowing about hearing dumb takes where it's like, hey, let's just tank next year for a draft pick. Well, who you're talking about? Arch Manning. Look at his stats, man. Look at his stats from his past college career. It ain't nothing where it's like, hey, let's just F the whole season and tank for him.
Yeah, it's clearly him. Yeah, right. I don't think we're seeing any of that. Let me even see what his stats were, because he wasn't even the starter. That was Quinn Ewers. He only got a handful of ops. So what did he get this past year? So he had 9 touchdowns, 2 picks. He appeared in 10 games, but he only had 90 passing attempts. So yeah, the numbers are fine for what it was, but I don't know if we're all. I think it's more last name that people are kind of glomming onto than the production.
Man, facts. So if he didn't have the last name, he wouldn't be talking about being top
Arch
3,
Smith?
top 4 pick.
Who's Arch Smith?
Yeah. Word, man. Yeah. Especially with the family and all that kind of stuff. But don't get it wrong. Like, he has nice poise. He has great mechanics. Feet work, obviously, because of the family tree that he comes from and whatnot. Right. Like, when you're watching him play, like, you see that. But to just F the season where we got to be historically bad to get that pick, man. Like, y'all really want to go through this stupid stuff again and potentially not even get. We couldn't even tank with Trevor. Having Gase, man, like we couldn't even get it done then. Like, y'all think we're gonna do it now with the regime that we have? Yo, it ain't even gonna happen. It's just dumb takes, man. Y'all just got to stop with that stuff, man. Like, that's the dumbest for me. That's the dumbest take. The other one with the quarterback is like the Daniel Jones stuff, man. Like, I'm gonna lose my bananas, man. Keeping in hearing that dumbass stuff with Jones, man. It's like when you the people that talk about the stats and all that. Daniel Jones, 70 touchdowns, 6 seasons. All right, like, all right, cool. But then look at the picks. It's like 40, 47, almost 50
the
picks.
Fumbles.
And then you look at the fumbles, it's almost Jameis Winston-esque.
Yeah.
And for me, it's like, hey, if we're gonna have somebody, give me Jameson, give me him, and he's basically the same thing. He's a turnover machine as well, touchdowns and whatnot. And for me, it's almost like, could he have the Geno effect where the defense is just pissed off at Geno for keeping on throwing picks, and these guys got to run onto the field like that? Like, for me, Giants fans, they ran this dude out of town. They hated the damn pick. If you guys know any Giants fans, ask them how they feel about Jones.
Not good.
Yo, they hate this guy, man.
Yeah.
There's nothing that shows you anything. Did the Giants pass on Allen for Jones? They
did.
They sick, man. Josh Allen's gonna get a gold jacket. Y'all kidding me?
Yeah.
Allen's gonna get a jacket, and we talking about Jones. Like, please, the Jones truthers, man. That's like, that's the crazy. There's no chance, man. There's no chance this regime.
I hope not.
Dude, there's zero chance. There's zero chance. Please, y'all, just stop talking about this stuff, man. Quarterback Cam Ward. Even if we do draft him, we're gonna have to give up the farm. We're gonna have to give up so much just to go up 4 or 5 spots, man. If that. Even if he might not even be there just that much.
He might not be. Yeah, right.
Dude. My nerves, man, my anxious feeling with all this stuff, man. It's like I'm not 100% bought in, man. It's just patience at this point, just making sure that we just at this point just see what the front office has to do. I'm not trusting nobody until I see wins. When I see wins, when I see the roster and how it looks and all that, and I'm seeing what we're doing on the field, knowing right now that Corley's our number 2. Adams ain't staying. Corley's our number 2 guy. Yo, come on, man. Who's
Ooh.
throwing the ball?
Yeah.
Warren. I said I want weapon, but then it's
Okay.
like D tackle, offensive tackle. Like, you know, we need dude. We got holes everywhere, man.
We do.
Cornerback, safety help.
Yeah.
You know,
Linebackers.
linebacker.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Dude, man, it's the anxiety. Like running back, I feel like, you know, we're good at that or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
The line, I feel like we're good, but if we do reach for O-line, it got to be in the later rounds, man.
I think so too.
It's just drafting these offensive linemen in the later rounds, the Max Mitchells, the Warrens, and all that. Like,
we need to hit. Yeah, those guys have
dude,
been terrible. Yeah,
and even as depth, even as using them as depth pieces, that ain't even helping out, man. These dudes are getting cooked. They're getting fried. They're getting fried, man.
Cooked.
Like, it's not good. Now I could blame Keith Carter. We could all blame
Oh
him.
yeah,
just
God
on
awful. Thank God
techniques
he's
and
gone.
schemes.
Right. Yeah.
Man, thank the Lord, man. Like, amen, man. Like,
Blessed be
out of here. Hackett too with the play calling. Like, you know, they don't look awful, but they really don't look good. Like 2 years ago when Max had to start, man, it didn't look good, man. Just knowing like the Dwayne Browns and just all these injuries, like it was bad, man. Just, you know, I'm just gonna let them. I'm gonna let the clock play out, man. I'm gonna let it go or whatever. Just want to put my 2 cents in, man. You know, appreciate everything that you're doing, dude. Keep up the good work, brother.
I appreciate that, Chef, and we'll be in contact again. Coming up rapidly is that Jet schedule. Let's get a couple of super chats in, then we're gonna make sure we work our way back to the phone lines. Dick Chimney's Burner, member for 4 months. We appreciate that, Dick. Here we go.
Wow.
A non-parody Gator call. LOL. Love your stuff, Gator. Yeah, actually, for most of my Gator calls, I don't know if it's a morning thing. He's normally always walking goose, but yeah, we've gotten some really great, insightful Gator calls. Either way, whether it's a comedy or the real stuff, both of it is a lot of fun. Let's go to Emmanuel Holcomb here. Another super chat coming in.
Wow.
Hey, Emmanuel, that is 4 raffle tickets, my friend, for our contest. Give me Fields, a tight end like Tyler Warren who could catch and block, and a receiver either draft or in for instance. We have an offensive identity that we could win games. I'd love an offensive identity. I'm curious to see what it is with Tanner Engstrand because, like, there's a lot still obviously unknown with what he's going to bring to the table. But sure, that's a competent combo here. Justin Fields, a quarterback, Tyler Warren, get some other guys kind of rounding out the wide receiver room. There could be a nice offensive identity there. And look at this, number 1 Austrian Jet fan, baby, with a gifted membership. Oh, you like to see it? That membership went to Philly's Limp Noodle. Philly's Limp Noodle, which is a perfect transition because up next is a cup of Philly noodles.
Bro, I've been trying to figure out who is this burner random hilarious account. I think it could be Jake Asman.
Okay.
Have maybe fallen out on the other show.
But now officially a Boy Green Coffee Club member is Philly's Limp Noodle.
Insanity, bro. And
congratulations.
I questioned the person. I said, can you just come on the show?
Show. The phone lines are open. I mean, just
listen,
like a fake Connor, the phone lines are open for everybody here.
Hey, call it a play on words, but it's a flattering thing to be flattered of your flaccid member. Flaccid member, you know, so you know, I will stand at attention when I need to, but it's not the time to do that here, you know. So.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that is that's quite fair. Yeah.
No, Chef Gilbert's hilarious with the Daniel Jones thing. I had brought it up like randomly, like a month ago here, and then on Jake's show, and Daniel Jones, and now everybody's like, oh, maybe Daniel Jones.
It's like, funny how that spins around.
Yeah, but no, I was about to ask you about the cap. If you saw that,
yes,
the increase is crazy. I would love to see what Aaron, AG and Muji can bring in from defenders on the side, on that side of the ball.
Yeah.
Because if you can go and grab some players, if you lose Reed, for some reason the cornerback situation, I'm not as weary. It's more of the safeties. We're always beat over the top. Throughout the years here and in the middle. So if you get a good safety that can come down in the middle, crash the box and crash the middle of the field, you stop that tight end bleeding. Because we've had the bleeding of the tight end position for years. Like we just let them eat and cook. So I feel like if they get some safeties, that'd be great. And just draft a DT if you're not going to move up for Ward. There's plenty of DTs at the top of this echelon that they're saying you should get, like, the premium players. So I think that should be done without a doubt. But Justin Fields, right? It's been the option they keep throwing at us.
Yeah, we're hearing it a lot. Yeah.
And Engstrand, I mean, if we just notice who he's had as a QB over there, it's been Jared Goff. That's kind of a non-mobile quarterback, right? So now it kind of puts you in a weird predicament. Like, what are we now telling ourselves he's changing his game calling from what Johnson was doing? I don't know. It's kind of odd, but whatever it's gonna be, productive and wins on the field has to happen. All right, Jet. Jesus Christ, dude. Hold on one second. This guy wants to say.
Hey, Jet. We've had Goose. We've had Jet. Man, stock up on Boy Green Daily.
Yes, sir.
Love it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but I just want to hear your take on what do you think?
All right, beautiful. Well, hello, Jet, and I love it. To Philly Noodles and pull one out for a, let me make sure I get the name again. Philly's Limp Noodle. To both noodles. Again, no discrimination there. I would say this again. I think we can all agree that Justin Fields is the most popular name that's being thrown out there in the universe right now. He is the most popular. I don't mean popular name like every Jet fan is cool with it. Just the most popular. Like, we're trying to find an answer, and that's an answer everyone keeps giving us, and we'll see if that. Ends up being good or bad, or if it ends up actually coming to fruition here. But I am kind of curious because now you start thinking about quarterback fit. We're doing a lot of kind of guessing on where everything is. Like Tanner Engstrand comes from Detroit. Does he want a Jared Goff? Like Jeremy Fowler mentioned, the Jets are intrigued by a dual threat quarterback. Jared Goff certainly not dual threat quarterback. So they're looking for something else? Are they just looking for the really talented quarterback, and then Tanner Engstrand is going to mold his system to the player? That sort of will be kind of curious. It'll be kind of curious too. All right, let's get two more things, and then we'll get back to the phone lines to wrap up the show here. Luca with a YouTube super chat here on the channel, which we appreciate. We put that on the board for you.
Wow.
Canadian currency. Very nice. Okay, that works too. $2.79 coming from Luca. Justin Fields to New York, trade down a few spots, stock up. It takes two to tango, but trading down and getting more assets, more picks, so Ricky New York can be cranking out those mock drafts is good for business, baby. So hell yeah, give us some more picks. That's I'm all about it, Luca. So Fields trade down, that's even great. And For Lily got me to laugh here. For Lily and Big D, we even need a fucking kicker, for God's sake. Yeah, the needs are endless for the New York Jets. There's no question about it. So shout out to For Lily in Big D. We got 650 people in the room. Like the video, hit subscribe, baby. We'd love to see it. Let's wrap up the show next with Ricky New York here on the channel. What's up, Ricky?
Hey, what's happening, Paul? Boy, I'll tell you what, people are like really scraping the bottom of the barrel with some of the quarterback ideas. And no Daniel Jones, no. And the other thing, let me squash this Kirk Cousins thing right now.
Okay. Oh, please do. Yeah.
What all you need to know if Kirk Cousins is coming here or not is how much it would cost Atlanta to actually cut him. They're not going to take on that kind of cap number or dead money number.
Oh, you think they're going to keep him on the team?
You know what? I kind of do because.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know,
that might be a little awkward for Michael Penix, my boy. I love Michael Penix. That might be a little weird for him, but I agree. Cap wise, it doesn't seem to make any sense.
Yeah. I mean, we got to think of it realistically. Is it responsible to be paying, $20-30 million for a guy that's not even there? It's bad enough to not have the money, but when you don't have the money or the player, I don't know. And, and the other thing is, what if Penix makes it 2 games and then gets hurt? Atlanta's going to go, God, why did we get rid of him? I just don't think that's going to happen. Okay. I've said Winston for a long time, Fields as well. I think one of those two is the better option for us. It really depends what they want, but I keep hearing people say, oh, well, Fields isn't a pocket passer, blah, blah, blah. You know what? Regardless of what he is, he started out 4-2 last year. We only won 5 games. Okay. I would take a 4-2 start. That's just me, but I would take a 4-2 start.
I would. Yeah.
You know, a few other things. I'm going to get off the quarterback subject, but we do have some holes. You know, kicker, I'm not worried about. Kicker, the very last pick of the draft, or even after the draft, it can be filled.
Sure.
We got a great one down in Florida State. 100% on field goals last year.
I like that conversion rate.
Yeah, including 58 and 59 yarders. Great kid too.
Wow.
But at any rate, okay, so say the draft gets here, and in the first round, we either go, say we get Mason Graham, and then as a free agent, we sign Asante Samuel Jr. to take Reed's place.
Oh, wow.
Or you could flip it and draft Will Johnson and then bring in, say, either DJ Jones from Denver to kind of fill the JFM role, or Derek Nottie from Kansas City, or
nice.
What I'm saying is you could get a free agent defensive tackle.
Right. Flip it the other way.
Yeah, either way. However, I could see Jahad Campbell.
Yes.
The linebacker from Alabama. I absolutely love that fit for us. I would hope that he even makes it to 42.
Yeah.
But to be
and DJ's latest mock draft, he was a first round pick. So
yeah, I mean, I mean, there's a lot of times when I'm doing mocks that he doesn't even make it to 42, but if he's there, I've been grabbing him. Not only is he like a big old school thumper type linebacker, his coverage skills are really good. To watch, like, you know, linebacker highlights and the first, you know, half a dozen clips are like interceptions and pass breakups. Like that's something we could really use. You know, yes, it'd be nice to have a safety that can do that, but it don't hurt to have a linebacker that can do that either. And coverage has been one of the problems with some of our linebackers. That being said, you get like Jahad Campbell in the second, you get Andrew Makuba, the Texas safety in the third. Sign Jeremy Chin. There you got your two safeties. This isn't really I mean, we do have some holes, but they're all fillable. It's not like we're that far off. And you're a Syracuse guy, so you're
100%.
Too.
Yeah.
So whether it was, you know, year before last when we played in the Cheez-It Bowl, and I'm going, Jesus Christ, who is this linebacker, Danny Stutzman from Oklahoma, that seems to be in our backfield blowing shit up all the time? Or whether it's like, damn, we've got a really good pass rush with Verse and Fisk and all these guys, but this damn Boston College right tackle Ozzie is holding our guys off pretty well. Like I see these guys like during the course of watching my football games, and guys like that stand out to me. I remember them. And so like when this time of year comes around, you know, I'm not just like, you know, watching one Mel Kiper video and forming some opinion. Like I'm coming with facts and stuff that I've seen. One last thing, you know,
sure. Yeah.
I don't have any information. People are always asking me about Jordan Travis. I don't have him on my speed dial. As a matter of fact,
that's too bad.
He's not in the context and the Rolodex, none of the above.
Terrible.
I wish I knew.
Yeah.
But something that kills me, Jake Asman is always saying he's a 5th round pick that suffered a terrible injury. But no, I got to correct that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Because Penix wasn't thought to be a 1st round pick. Neither was Bo Nix, but people constantly overreach for quarterbacks. What Jordan Travis was a 3rd or 2nd round pick that fell to the 5th round due to his injury.
That's what Connor Hughes says. He says he has good sourcing that if Jordan Travis doesn't get that injury, he would have been a 2nd or 3rd round pick by the Jets say. Yeah.
You know what? He could have been end of the 1st. In back-to-back years, he was undefeated versus Anthony Richardson teams. He was also undefeated against Jaden Daniels. And I was there for one of those games and watched him. Now that's college. That's different. You know, Jaden Daniels had Thomas Jr. and Malik Neighbors on that team, and those guys got completely shut down. You know, so. But the thing is as and one last thing about tanking, dude, professional athletes do not tank. It might seem like it sometimes,
Right.
and maybe guys know they're out, so they're not giving it their all. But dude, like, in no way, shape, or form is it okay to be making $14 million a year and say,
dogging it.
"Oh, I'm just not even going to try because we
Right.
can draft X." I mean, not to mention their film is like their job resume. When they go to
100%.
get that bag that we always talk about, people are going to go, "Yeah, well, what about 2025 when you tank to get a quarterback?" Like, no, guys don't want to put bad tape on film. So there is no such thing as tanking. You try your best, and wherever it comes out, it comes out. But you know, I like the direction that we're going in. I like what Glenn, I think, is going to try bring to this team. And you know, people always say, like, you know, I want to see, you know, what players we draft. You know, what are Aaron Glenn type of guys.
Of course.
And I can tell you right now, Jahad Campbell, Andrew Makuba, those are Aaron Glenn type guys. And if you want to figure out Aaron Glenn type guys, watch these highlights of all the different players. When you hear words like old school mentality, always around the football, those are Aaron Glenn guys.
I love
Just
it.
a helpful hit for people. But that's all I got, man. Have a great morning, Paul.
All right. Thanks for the call, Ricky. Great stuff. And yeah, I think we're all curious what Aaron Glenn guys certainly look like. Hey, look, at the end of the show, we got a 5-pack of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships coming in. 5 new members to the Boy Green Coffee Club are as follows here. 1 second. We had a jump here. Jat107, Jets Average Dad, John Garcia, Sluggo, and you guys are all now members to the Boy Green Coffee Club. Shout out to, again, I still can't read this. I don't know if it's my glasses. Beast_low_PR, I believe. Well, whoever you are, I've copied it from YouTube. So whatever it actually is, I have on my Excel sheet. But either way, thank you so much for the gifting of Boy Green Coffee Club memberships. Those are 5 raffle tickets for a giveaway coming up at the end of the month. Well, everybody, thanks for tuning in. This was a lively show with shout out to Goose, shout out to Jet, shout out to the dog population increasing, and everybody else here on the program. A lot of fun. I'm running to the radio station, baby. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back at 3 o'clock. Boy Green meets Woody. It's a Thursday. We'll be live once again at 3 o'clock. Hopefully you guys stay tuned for that. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Take care.